Yes. So, oh my gosh, that's a great question. And I say that because I just changed my phone, and I don't know why. It just so happened that when I was at the store, it took hours, and I ended up striking conversation with this gentleman who asked me the same question. So I won't
Okay.
share what I told him. And I said gentleman, but he was probably in his mid 20s, and he was like, I love real estate. I'm trying to get into it. Like, give me some tips. And so first of all, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change anything. I'm a big believer in the fact that you are the person you are, and no matter if your business is real estate or whatever it is, you are the person you are because of every experience that you went through, whether good or bad. So I'm always trying to stay grateful, even when, sometimes you go through challenging times, right?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Linda Holtz, who is the owner of M2RE. They syndicate apartment complexes out of Texas. I'm excited to get into it. Thanks for being here, Linda.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here too.
Yeah, so you have a very interesting background. Tell us how you got into the real estate industry to begin with.
Yes, that definitely goes back a long time. I have been in property management for 10 years now. So originally I'm from another country, but when I first moved to America, I was in sales. And the way that I got into property management is because of that sales background. I guess I was good at people. And I entered a management company through being a customer service representative, and then eventually moved up the ladder, the corporate ladder, and then realized at some point that if I was going to manage other people's properties, I might as well manage my own. So that's how I got started.
Absolutely. I mean, that's such an exciting trajectory. And when you were doing this on your own, kind of what did that look like? Were you doing it part time at first? Did you jump in, head first?
Yeah, so I've always done it part time so far. I know sometimes I try to make it look like it's not, and it seems like I do a good job at it because sometimes people are surprised that I still have a day job.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've always done it part time. I think that's one of the beautiful parts about real estate as well, is that for me, I'm definitely looking forward to the day that I'll be able to say, I'm done with the W2 life forever. But then at the same time, while I'm not, it definitely allows me to do both. So it's one of the great things I think about having a side hustle that doesn't take over. So
Yeah, absolutely. And the stability of a W-2, it is very nice. So it's nice to kind of have
mhm.
both worlds. As you're building this portfolio on the side, can you just talk about, you know, building generational wealth, building freedom for yourself? Like, should anything happen to your W-2 job? Just kind of talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, I think it's super important. Number one, to have a nest egg. Number two, not just a nest egg like in general, but also with things happen, right? Like I hear a lot of people, I deal with a lot of passive investors who sometimes invest from 401ks or life insurance policies, and it's like, okay, that's great. Like, I'm glad you're thinking about it and preparing yourself. But sometimes people invest in a 401k, and then all of a sudden it's 2008. All of a sudden it's 2020, and I think that it's important to
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
develop like other streams of income that don't stop. And to me, that's what I love about real estate, is that everyone is always going to need a place to stay. So as long as you buy the right assets, you will always get a source of income. It's not just building like a separate pot, if I can call it that. It's building something that will keep on giving. And I think that's the best part. And then the other part that maybe needs to be talked about more is the mental freedom of knowing, like, hey, I choose to have a W-2. I don't need to be here. Now, would it be easy to walk away? Maybe not at first, but I could if I wanted. I think it provides it relieves a lot of stress.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And then, so tell us more about M2RE and kind of what you guys are investing in and kind of what that looks like.
Absolutely. So my husband and I founded M2RE 2 years ago. And the reason why is because it stands for Married to Real Estate. And at the time, we were 3 months newlywed. And obviously, we had been together a couple of years. We had invested together a couple of years, but we were ready to scale our portfolio to the next level. And so we decided to make a business out of it. So, they always tell you, if you're going to start a business, you're going to need to have an avatar and like clients that you go after. And those clients should be who you were. You should help your former self. So we were like, well, who we are is newlyweds. And we definitely know how to talk to other newlyweds. So we decided to call the company Married to Real Estate.
I love that. And talk more about kind of working with your spouse. I know there's probably challenges and there's probably amazing upsides to it. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I would say one of the challenges definitely, to establish good boundaries, because I have a tendency, like, I love real estate. I could talk about it and go into houses all day, every day. It doesn't matter if it's a high-rise building or if it's a single-family home that's falling apart that needs a gut rehab. I just love it. So I think it's very important when you work with, whether it's a spouse or a relative or anybody that you share a roof with, it's important to say, like, hey, there's some limits. And there are times where we're not allowed to talk about work. So, for example, in my relationship, we have dogs. So when we're walking the dogs, nobody's allowed to talk about work. That's one of the boundary we have. And then it's sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, hey, we have enough to talk about that we have to have a separate meeting. So you, my husband, that I like see every morning, I will send you a calendar invite. And it's always fun when that happens. But I think that it goes down to having the right systems, even when it's, again, somebody who lives under the same roof. Now, of course, the advantage is my partner's not going anywhere. I know that it's a partnership for life. So it's pretty nice in terms of knowing how supported you are on a day-to-day, especially when times get tough. Because as we all know, in real estate and entrepreneurship in general, times will get tough. So it's nice to have that support.
Absolutely. And you have someone that you can fully trust.
Yes, exactly. Because that's a big thing too. I've heard a lot of people say, partnership is like a marriage and you have to date first. You have to get to know the person. And of course, we skipped all of that because we had already done it before.
Amazing. Well, I mean, that's really exciting. And, you invest predominantly in the Texas market, which I think is a great market. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So we actually met, and both of our careers, because my husband worked in property management too. That's been my full-time career for the last decade. And that's also where we started investing, is in the Midwest. We met in Chicago specifically. But then COVID happened and we decided, hey, maybe it's our time to make a change. And we decided to go to Texas because that's how much we were dedicated to our real estate business. And I think I'm like you. I think that Texas is a great market for it. I think that every market could be great as long as you find the right deals. But
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
of course, without getting too political, it's always a little easier when you're on the landlord side to be in a red state versus a blue one, right? And there's also a lot of other advantages. For example, in terms of the weather, here we were always used to dealing with snow and things like that that don't happen in Texas. Now, obviously, every market, like I said, could be great, but that also means every market could have its downside. So we don't have snow, but in Texas there's hurricanes. So I guess it's a give and take on what you're willing to take and willing to do. But yeah, we love Texas. It's definitely an area that we have invested in, will continue to invest in, and it's just about finding those right gems for sure.
Yeah, and walk us through kind of how you identify those.
Yes. So for us, number one, we started, our first property was a trioplex. And after that, we had a couple of single family homes. And that's really what drove us to invest in multifamily, is that we wanted to scale. So the first criteria that we have is that we try to go after anything that's 60 units or more. And the logic behind it is pretty simple. Me being a property manager by day, I don't want to be a property manager at night on my portfolio. So we try to go after assets that are big enough to warrant their own third-party management company. That's the first thing. And then, of course, the second one, or I should say, the other first thing, is the market, which is Texas for us. After that, it's really more a matter of looking at deals and seeing what works or doesn't work for us, who we might partner with or not. But we definitely have a couple of other criterias. For example, we don't like anything that was built before 1980. We definitely prefer value add opportunities, but not always. But it just helps to know that you'll be able to create value and force some appreciation beyond just the regular market. So anything that is old but not too old and needs a little bit of refresher, we love that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I mean, I know you guys have kind of worked in different parts of the real estate industry. What brings you to value add, multifamily? How did you kind of land on these spaces?
Yeah, and that's a great question. It really goes down to the fact that we syndicate those apartment buildings. And so therefore that means we bring on passive investors. So we want to create as much value and revenue and additional income as possible, because our goal is we will find the building, we will fund it, we will close on it, and we will manage it for you and eventually sell it. Our passive investors don't have to do anything. Our only goal is to maximize their return. And when I say maximize their return, I don't want to, I want to clarify that, like, we don't want to just give them more money just for the sake of making more money. It has to be smart, right? It has to be done in a legal way, in a smart way, and in a way that makes sense for everybody involved. But as long as we can do that, that's really our goal. And that's why we go through value add, because that's where you have the most meat on the bone to share at the end of the day with our investors.
Definitely. That makes a lot of sense. And I know a big part about, your business and how you've been able to scale is through networking. I would love for you to talk about kind of the importance of that.
Yes, absolutely. So I will give a shout out to one of my former mentor. So when we first got started in multifamily specifically, my husband and I joined a mastermind. And the goal for us was definitely, obviously, we wanted to learn. But the goal for us was definitely to get to know the players in the space and be in that pool of players. And one of my original mentors within that group told me very early on, you have to go to virtual meetups. Obviously, you have to go to in-person ones, and you have to try and meet as many people in person as you can. Ideally, not always in real estate. That's definitely a side tip that I will share is if you are in real estate, try to go to meetups that are not related to it, where you can be the real estate person, right? um, but being in Texas and wanting to maximize the amount of people we're exposed to, in Houston, the city is very spread out, and it can easily be 30 minutes, 1 hour, an hour and a half to go anywhere.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And so because of that, very early on, I started going to virtual meetups of any kind, virtual events, to maximize access to people from all over the country, to the point where eventually I was going to one of those meetups pretty regularly. And when the host got busy with life and business, I offered him to take it over. So now my co-host and I, because there was another gentleman who had the same idea, we have had our own meetup that we host virtually for every week for the last year and a half, I want to say, because that's how important networking is to me and to my husband for sure.
And how do you even find these virtual events and these in-person events?
Yeah, so funny you ask that because it's almost like you have to be in the know. But for me, my one of our company's core values is transparency. For me, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. I don't think that we should ever try to hide secrets or anything like that. So it just so happened that this lady originally told me a couple of places to go to, and then from there you meet people who tell you you should also go to this one, you should also go to this one. And eventually I started having like my regulars, right? Like 5 or 6 or 7 different calls that I go to on a weekly basis. And then one person asked me, and then another person asked me, and then another person. And so now it just turned out that I literally have this list. And whenever somebody tells me, hey, I'm trying to get into multifamily or commercial real estate, I tell them, you need to network. And here's my list of all the calls I go to. And I don't go every single week, but you need to go if you're serious about growing, like expanding your brand and getting to know the right people.
Oh, that's amazing that you've put that together. And it's
Yeah,
cool that you're able to now do that on your end, facilitate community among people.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, and so talk about as you're building this business now, what would be something that you wish you learned earlier on that you can share with us today?
Something that I wasn't like that I wasn't doing or that like that I would have
Just something
changed.
you wish you learned a little earlier, maybe like a mistake that you learned from, something like that.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, that's a great question. And I say that because I just changed my phone, and I don't know why. It just so happened that when I was at the store, it took hours, and I ended up striking conversation with this gentleman who asked me the same question. So I won't
Okay.
share what I told him. And I say gentleman, but he was probably in his mid 20s, and he was like, I love real estate. I'm trying to get into it. Like, give me some tips. And so first of all, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't change anything. I'm a big believer in the fact that you are the person you are, and no matter if your business is real estate or whatever it is, you are the person you are because of every experience that you went through, whether good or bad. So I'm always trying to stay grateful, even when, sometimes you go through challenging times, right? Um, but that being said, when he asked me what is a tip that you would give somebody who's starting now, my two best tips were two things. Number one, something that I always tell my passive investors, and I think it applies to active people as well, is ask yourself, what do you like to do? What do you genuinely enjoy learning about, doing some research on, talking to people about, because times will be tough. It doesn't matter what you do in what space. Sometimes uh, challenges are going to come up. And if you're not passionate, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, it will be that much harder to hang on, and it will be that much easier to give up. And I'm not saying that, if you love it, you'll never give up. Otherwise, it would be too easy. But I do think that this is where it starts. It's like asking yourself, hey, how much time and energy am I willing to put on this thing? Because depending on the answer, then you can see if you want to move forward or not. And then the second tip, if you're going to be specifically in multifamily, for me, I would say my best advice is learn early on how to raise capital legally and compliantly and with investors' best interests at heart. Because if you can do that, you will never run out of deals. People always say, oh, if you find a good deal, you'll find the money. And it's like, actually, if you have the money, you will always find a deal. But you have to make sure that you find the money legally, and that you always remember this is people's hard-earned money, and you cannot play games with it. You always have to be careful not to lose it.
Definitely. And what are your best tips for finding investors?
So for me, I'm big on LinkedIn. That's where I built my whole brand. I'm always there every day of the week, sometimes on weekends. So I'm a big supporter of social media, but again, you have to find a social media that works for you. I'm not huge on Facebook. I'm not huge on Instagram. I don't really do X. I don't even have a TikTok. So I picked LinkedIn for a number of reasons, and maybe that's a topic for another episode. But yeah, I think that it's important to decide, okay, this is what I want to do. This is who I'm after. This is the time and energy that I'm willing to put into. And then once you choose one, once you have a lane, then stick to it, right? And so for me, that's LinkedIn.
It's amazing. Yeah, I need these simple free tools that can really make a difference for you.
Yes, definitely. And sorry if you can hear my dogs. I don't know why they're going crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for all of the advice and takeaways here. Tell everyone where to find you and where to find M2RE.
Yes. So my name Linda Holtz. Like I said, I'm on LinkedIn every day, so feel free to find me there. M2RE. So on Facebook and Instagram, we're Married to Real Estate. M2RETX is our handle. And our website is marriedtorealestate.com. So it's married, number 2, realestate.com.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. And yeah, it was a great experience. So I'm excited. I'm excited to rewatch it.
Yes. Oh my God, you were amazing. I'm sure everyone had so many takeaways and good inspiration. So thank you to everyone who did listen. Definitely check out Linda. Check out Married to Real Estate. Seems like there's a lot of value that you can get from her. So we'll see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.